Hello and good morning. We are back once again in Baxter State Park. It is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025, and I had a couple of NOBO thru-hikers reach out to me, father and son, and they wanted to be picked up today at Abel Stream Campground to be shuttled to Bangor. So I figured since I was coming up today, I might as well get another hike in. I haven't been on the north side of the mountain for almost 2 years because I was gone through hiking last year, and my first two hikes this year have been up Hunt and down Abel. So looking forward to going up the other side. Going to go up Cathedral to the summit because that's probably the quickest way to get there, and down Saddle. The forecast, it's overcast right now, but the forecast is calling for a little bit of clearing. So we'll do it. I need to do it kind of quickly. Not going to be a lot of time to stop and smell the roses because I have to pick up the hikers over at Abel Stream Campground at 2 o'clock. So I was second in line getting in, so hopefully I can get on the trail here by 6:30, 6:40 at the latest. And that should give me enough time to get back to the parking lot, hopefully by around 1 o'clock. Check in with you when I get back on the trail. All right, we are on our way to Roaring Brook. We got signed out at 6:32. We are on the Chimney Pond Trail, heading to Chimney Pond, and we're gonna shoot for an hour and a half. I've done it faster, but we're not gonna kill ourselves today. And it's still early in the hiking season, so if I can get up there in an hour and a half, that's pretty good. My son-in-law did it one time, and I think it was 46 minutes or 47 minutes. So, but we're not going for that record today at all. They did get heavy rains up here last night. You can see the stream. There's definitely a roaring brook today down there. They supposedly were supposed to get 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch last night. It looks like they did. So we'll have to watch our step on the rocks. Let's get going here, get some rhythm. Nice upgraded bridge there. It looks like they changed out a lot of the lumber on it. They do take a beating because obviously hikers go across there, but in the winter, that's how the snowmobiles come in and take all the propane in and out of the Chimney Pond Ranger Station, because that's how they heat and use their lights and all that stuff up there. So they do bring it in the winter because it's way easier. It just is good timing. It's my 75th summit today, if and when I make it there. And I got a new pair of Ultra Lone Peak 9s in the mail yesterday. Didn't get them on purpose for the occasion. My other ones just finally wore out. So I'm interested to see. They feel good so far. We'll see how they feel by the end of the day. I had pretty good luck with the 7s. I went through 6 pairs of those, so skipped the 8s. Now the 9s are out. I heard the 9s were better than the 8s anyway. So, but I'll pass judgment on them myself today. Here, I'll show you a picture of them right here. Just after Halfway Rock that you saw in that last picture on the Roaring Brook Trail, there's a little viewpoint. It says viewpoint there. You probably can't make it out, but and it goes out there just a little bit. It's a beautiful view. The summit is a little obscured, but it's a great view of the basin and of Hamlin Peak on a clear day, but we shall choose not to go today because, as you can see, I don't think I'd be seeing Hamlin Peak, so we'll just keep trucking. Over halfway now. Almost exactly 2 miles in, give or take a 100th of a mile. You come to a little Y, and that trail there heads down to Basin Pond. And again, it's right there, so if you're on the Roaring Brook Trail, heading to Chimney Pond is definitely worth hiking down there. The really cool thing is in the winter, the trail, because of the snowmobiles that you follow up, either hiking or cross-country skiing or snowshoeing, it goes right across Basin Pond. And a buddy of mine, Tom T, and my son-in-law Hunter and I, we did that a couple of years ago maybe. I'll try to dig the photo out, because when you go across there, it's not a view that I had ever seen of Katahdin in all my times up here, so it was a pretty cool perspective, different angle and things like that. I'll try to dig it out of the archive. If I find it, I'll put it right here so you can see what I mean. All right, we are arriving at Chimney Pond, and the ranger station is this way. You can see here, we just climbed up to 2,914 feet, and I am out of breath, FYI. We made it in less than an hour and a half, so that's pretty good for me for early in the season. Pushed it maybe a little harder than I wanted to, but that's okay. I don't want to be late to pick up the folks on the other side of the mountain, so we'll check out Chimney Pond real quick, down the rest of this Gatorade that I started, and be on our way up Cathedral. Well, there's Chimney Pond, and as you and I probably both guessed correct, there's no view on a clear day. That is a beautiful 2,000-foot straight up wall to the summit. But today, it's just an upside down cloud, not in our favor. Let's get trucking up Cathedral. We are now making our way up the Cathedral Trail. It's the most direct trail to the summit. When we come out at the top, you only have about a 2/10 of a mile hike to get there, so that's probably why this is one of my favorite trails. It's marked very well. You can probably see a couple of the blues there, but one ahead of me. The trail's marked real well, and just take your time. The short hike from the Chimney Pond Ranger Station to where this starts down there is not a bad little hike, but I always stop at the bottom, kind of get my breath and get a drink and something to eat, and then start making my way up here and just slow everything down a little. Especially today, everything is really, really slick. And as I mentioned earlier, it's my first day with my new sneaks, so they probably got some film on the bottom still or something. I gotta break them in and get them so I can trust them on these rocks that are wet. Let's keep going. We have made it to the first cathedral. It's a cool little outcropping here. You can actually walk out on it a little bit if you want, as long as you're careful. It usually looks down on a beautiful view of Chimney Pond. And then also over there to the east to Knife Edge, and then you can see down in the basin. But today, no views. Unfortunately, I've seen them, but I wish they were there for you guys. So that heads up the second cathedral, and we will now tackle that. The rocks are very, very slippery today, so I'm having to slow down quite a bit. I don't know what's more wet, my shirt right now or the rocks, but it's a toss-up. We have arrived at the second cathedral, and if you're someone who likes rock climbing, that section between the first and second right there, you will absolutely love. And I kind of love it. It wasn't great today because it was wet. I didn't love it as much as I usually do, but it's pretty much hands on rock, one or even two, the whole way. They have it down for 1/10 of a mile. It feels longer. I think that's just because it's a pretty good workout. But so it's 8/10 of a mile to First Cathedral, and one more 1/10 of a mile to put you at 0.9 here, which is just over halfway to the summit. So we are halfway to the summit, and we're probably a little behind schedule where I want to be, but this next 0.8 is not as hard as that 0.9 right there for sure. We just came up over the lip there, and now we're pretty much done, really 100% done almost, all the climbing parts on the cathedral. Now we're just into the rock field. See, we got some cairns showing up one way up there in the clouds, and this is just put your head down, don't break your ankles, humping up the hill. So that's what we've got left. Strangely enough, the higher I've gone in elevation, the drier these rocks are. So that was a nice little course of events. I'm hoping that the saddle trail dries. It looks like it's trying. I know it probably doesn't look it to you, but it looks like it's trying to clear up, and it was supposed to a little bit. So I'm hoping. We'll cross our fingers. I forgot about it when I went by, but that picture you just saw was the Cathedral Trail cutoff trail, and that'd be a good way if you get up this high and thunder and lightning comes in, or you know what, hits the fan and you got to get down and you're not going to the summit that day. It's generally discouraged to go down Cathedral, so you could cut across there to the right as you're coming up the cutoff trail, and that would take you out and go over to the saddle, and you could go down the saddle. That way you wouldn't have to keep going up or go down Cathedral. I've never gone down Cathedral rather. It's pretty steep. It would be terrible today going down it because it's so wet. And I don't like to hike back the way I came, quite honestly. So anyway, that's the cutoff trail. It is 10 of 10, and I'm on my last push before I get intersected with the saddle trail, and then it's just about 2/10 to the summit. I probably won't make it by my goal, 10 a.m., but it's still pretty early in the hiking season, so I'm happy with my time. And I did have to go a little bit slower at the beginning of the Cathedral Trail because it was so wet. As chance would have it, the two thru hikers that I was supposed to shuttle and pick up over on the other side of the mountain, I met at the summit. So it was pretty cool. We got to hike down together the Saddle Trail on the north side, so they got to see Chimney Pond, which a lot of thru hikers don't ever get to hike down to. And we took our time and drove back around the other side of the park to get their gear and headed to Bangor.